Hello, listeners. Hi, my name is Madhavi, and I'm so happy to have you on UppTalk. You have come to the right place if you want to learn about IT and do really cool things with your hands. We are not just another IT company when I say UppTalk. Think of us as your learning partner dedicated to helping you reach your full potential. We have top notch hands on courses to help you build your business, whether you are new to technology or want to move up in your current job. Let's look around this as our first step towards learning.
We went with this structure actually. We just created the top level one. We created this organization. Hired this employee. Made this employee manager for this organization. We didn't actually have these numbers. We created these two organizations. And next step is we will be hiring these employees and making these employees as manager for this organization. Stephen will be hired into this organization. As Stephen will be made as a kind of manager for World Security Supposed Automation and Barbara will be made as a manager for this organization. Then we'll be hiring these two folks under this organization and these two folks under this organization. Once we have this complete our structure, then what we'll do is we'll be having John as a kind of manager for the support organization under which we'll be having these two folks hired. And then we'll be creating Ambi as a kind of manager for supposed automation under which we'll be having these two folks hired. And under Barbara's organization, we'll be having World Security Reporting Supervisory created where Andrew will be made as a kind of manager under which Johnson and Simons will be members of the support managers. We didn't actually proceed with a lot of stuff. We just created top level one. Only the thing is we created a non-supposer organization, company hierarchies that I'll show you. I'll proxy as Logan. Logan has permissions. Is there any kind of confusion with the structure when we create it? I don't know about people who are not there. They might have some questions, but folks who were there in yesterday's session, you guys have any questions with what we created yesterday? I think it made pretty sense yesterday. I don't have any questions. Those who were not there yesterday, what we'll do is I'll try to follow the same structure what we have here. Since we created the top level one, I still have to create the bottom subordinate organization. I'll be following the same steps. Whatever I've done here will be following the same steps for these formation creations as how I've hired Robert Williams. I'll also be hiring Stephen Barbara and be making them as a kind of managers, and also will be creating the bottom down shifts of one-eyed organizations. I think whatever you guys missed, hardly hiring an employee would be a kind of important task that, in a way, you'll be seeing when I'm hiring these guys. And how I'm making this Robert Williams kind of organization as a superior same. I'll be making Stephen's organization, Barbara's organization as superior for these subordinate organizations. Whatever you missed yesterday will be covered when I'm creating all these things. You shouldn't be missing anything. You'll be clear with the structure when I follow the same steps for these formation creations. The other thing is org assignments. I created a company hierarchy and cost center. Hierarchy cost center. We've just created that one. We have not assigned to super user organizations. However, I've created this create company hierarchy. Went with this task. And the organization is nothing but an event action. Every organization that you create in work, be it supervisory, be it non-supervisory, any organization that you create in work, this reorganization event will pop up for you the moment you start creating organization. The reason why it pops up is it will be tracking all the additions, all the changes that you're making to the organizations in Workday. Whenever you are creating any supervisory organization or whenever you're creating any non-supervisory organization, you have to mention your reorganization. And also, whenever you're making changes to the existing supervisory organization or existing non-supervisory organization, you need to mention the reorganization event. The reason why you need to mention is this is something which will be tracking the additions or the changes that you're making to the organizations. Tomorrow, whenever you wanted to know when did I make this change or how did this change happen, if you wanted to know, you can report through reorganization. The reorganization event is nothing but which is a bucket or a container that used to track or trace the changes that you're making to the organizations. The reorganization event is an important event without which you cannot create any organization. Yesterday, we created one reorganization event which we are using, this one which we're using for all the organizations that we have created. Create company hierarchy is a simple task. I went through create company hierarchy. Given the company hierarchy, name, subtype is always. I would request everyone to go on mute. I think this is echoing me. I'll be every time, whatever the activity that you do for non-supervisory organization, be it company hierarchy, be it company cost center hierarchy, the subtype would be relevant to that. Since I'm creating company hierarchy, my subtype would be company hierarchy. Visibility, everyone. It's simple. You'll be providing these details. Since these are not relevant roles, we'll be removing these roles. And when you click on whatever name that you have given, with that name, your company hierarchy would be created. And similarly, company. Similarly, the same task you'll have for company. Create company is a task. Once you have this task, save again and you'll be selecting the reorganization event. Here subtype would be company. Visibility everyone. You'll provide your company name and remove all these things which are not relevant. Then you click on your company will be created. And since you have created a company and company hierarchy, now the thing is you need to assign your company under hierarchy. Because hierarchies are nothing but which will be holding multiple companies. Let's say you have a company in the US which is a headquarter company in the US. And you are establishing your companies in other countries, India, Mexico, Singapore, and all. Now you have created all the three companies, Singapore, India, and Mexico companies you have created. Now you have to assign under your top level company right, which is nothing but a hierarchy. This is a company hierarchy that we have created. Yesterday, we did not assign this to hierarchies. I'm not seeing it. We created one company for USA and we have created one company for India. And similarly, we have created company hierarchy. I thought we were assigned to hierarchy. I'm not seeing that. As you see, this is a company hierarchy. And there's a company for India and this is a company for USA. And similarly, we have a cost center. Cost center for India, cost center for USA. Now, since we have created one hierarchy with the systems and technology, and we need to have these two individual companies to be attached under hierarchy, what I'll be doing is I'll be getting those two companies under hierarchy. I think we have done this today. I don't know what has happened. I'll be going to reorganization of company hierarchy, assign included organizations. Those are already assigned. Once you assign them, you'll be seeing your organization structure like this. Which organization structure? Company organization structure we'll be using. Company hierarchy will be top level one, which will be holding individual companies. And similarly, cost center also will be seen the same way. This is the hierarchy. This is cost center hierarchy, which will be holding two cost centers. One is for India, one is for US. That's how we know, the same as how we have created the company hierarchy, and companies create cost center hierarchy and create cost center. When you create cost center hierarchy, you'll be giving this name and subject. Similarly, cost center will be giving this name and subject. One other thing is subtype. You'll be selecting as hierarchy, and here you'll be selecting as cost center and subject. And if you want to add these two cost centers to hierarchy, go to relay directions of this one. Reorganization assign included organizations. Give these two names and click on. You'll be seeing these two organizations included with hierarchy. And then when you come to the org chart, you'll be seeing whatever that you have assigned under hierarchy will be populating as how you're seeing. That's what we have done initially before we created subtype organization. Did this make sense? Or do you guys want to see how it actually gets created? Simple task: create company hierarchy, create cost center, hierarchy cost center, give the name, submit and assign individual organizations into hierarchy. Simple task. Only the thing is, once you have created this one, you need to assign this to supervisor organization, which we have not assigned yet. We need to assign this. That's the only other thing you need to know. But the rest of the things we'll be covering when we create these two or level 2 and level 3 organizations we'll be covering. Should I move to creation of this org structure? Supervisor. Yes. This is the organization structure that we have created yesterday. Let me show you the org structure. We just created a supervisory and then two subordinates, hired one employee to this, made that employee manager for this organization. And then we are to create a few more employees and as members of this organization who will be managing this organization automatically. Few things will be getting inherited at our mission level. What are those things that will be getting inherited? From yesterday's session, what other things will be getting inherited when you create supervisory organizations? Roles cost center. Roles is one thing, but we made Robert as a kind of manager. Manager has a role. Manager will be getting inherited from this organization to this subordinate organization. That is the reason why you're seeing Robert Williams has got inherited to these organizations. Since there is no manager assigned to these two organizations, automatically superior organization's manager will be getting inherited. Once we assign manager, we'll be breaking that inheritance. Rows will be getting inherited. What else? Staffing model will be getting inherited. Staffing model will get inherited. We've created position management staffing model with this one. The same staffing model will be getting inherited to these two subordinate organizations. What else? Location will be getting inherited. Whatever location that we have given at top level organization, the last will be getting inherited to these two subordinate organizations automatically. What else? Org assignments. Org assignments is nothing but non-supervisory organizations. We have not given it here. Whatever you'll be assigning at top level, the same non-supervisory organization company hierarchy, cost center will also be getting inherited to this one. Since we have not assigned this one, we are not seeing this one. Once we are done with the entire organization structure, we'll be assigning this to top level and we'll be seeing that inheritance will be flowing to all the downstream subordinate organizations. There are 4 things. This would be your interview question. What are the things that will be getting inherited when you create a supervisory organization? 4 things that you need to remember. Roles are nothing but for supervisory organization. You'll be assigning manager role. Whoever manager role is assigned at top level organization will be getting inherited. Example you are seeing here. Robert Williams is made as a manager. Manager is nothing but a role, right? Manager role. That role has got inherited to these two subordinate organizations. The other thing is location. Whatever location that you have assigned here automatically will be getting inherited if you won't provide any other location. And similarly, staffing model. Whatever staffing model, position management that you have selected or job management that you will be selecting here, the same will be getting inherited here. The other thing, org assignments. Non-supervisory organizations. Company hierarchy, company cost center hierarchy will be getting inherited if you assign a top-level organization. Now what we have done here, we created 2 subordinate organizations as per this organization, but we need to have these 2 members. These 2 members hide under this supervisor organization, and then we'll be making these 2 as managers for these 2 subordinate organizations. What is the step that we need to create before hiring? What we need to have before we hire an employee to the organization? We need a position. We need to have it before we hire an employee. The reason why we need to have a position is because the organizations that we have created are of position management staffing model. Whenever we have a staffing model called position management, which means that a position has to be created before we hire an employee. And 99.9% staffing model position management is used across all the customers that I've seen. I haven't seen job management staffing model that has been used which does not require any position. A position management is the common and mostly used staffing model. And this would be also a kind of question for you. What is a position management staffing model, or what are the staffing models that you have? Here are two staffing models we used to have. One is position management. The other one is job management. What is the difference between position management and job management? When you create your supervisor organization with position management and staffing model, you need to have a position to be created before you hire an employee. Without position, you cannot hire an employee when you create your staffing model as position management. And similarly, job management. Job management does not require any staffing model. Job management does not require any position when you hire an employee. It goes with broad job requirements, like if a candidate is meeting the experience, if a candidate is meeting the responsibilities of the position with the economic details, with the experience that this job requires, you'll go without creating a position. You'll hire an employee under job management staffing model. But this staffing model is not mostly used, one, because every customer is preferring to have a position before they hire an employee. If they are going for, you might be seeing a lot of Workday positions or a lot of positions coming to your LinkedIn. That is because the position would have created and the position would have attached to job requisition, and job requisition would have posted in job posting sites. All this will be happening through position only. Without the position, they'll be not able to do these activities. Posting the job requirements in LinkedIn with job requisition and all are through position management staffing model. Now tell me the difference between position management and job management. What is the difference between position management and job management? For job management, we don't require a staffing model. We don't require a position to be created. We don't require positions to be created. What about position management? We need to create a position under position management. We need to have a position in order to hire an employee. If you wanted to hire an employee, you definitely need to have a position for that employee. The same will be seen here. Now, what we need to do, we need to have Stephen and Barbara under Robert Williams' organization because folks are becoming managers for these two organizations. What is the task that we need to create position? What is the task that we need to do to create a position? Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@therightuptalk.com.